Hey there, folks. I go by Stalwart Turtle on Twitch and on YouTube, and I'm a speedrunner of Mega Man 2 in the zipless normal difficulty category. And I wanted to make this video because I had been switching over and playing some Buster only category speedruns, and I noticed there's some inconsistencies with how the crash bombs work in this room, and I kind of really delved into the issue and experimented a lot, and I've come up with some information about how you can make the bombs do certain things, the reasoning for why they do what they do in this room, and so forth. So I kind of wanted to put that out to the community, see if you guys can find anything of worth in this, or just be better informed about how this room works with the crash bombs. Now, in any speedrunning category, what we want to do for sure is get some double kills, and the easy double kill is in the upper left area. You place a crash bomb underneath the topmost shooter, and that will take out the shooter and the wall underneath. The placement for this is very forgiving, and I've got a clip here, and let's take a look at how easy this placement is. You know, you don't. It's not super particular in any way. So there's one that's kind of right under the shooter. There's one that's higher, high enough to eat the shooter up, but it still takes the wall out. There's one that's lower, and it still works. And excuse me, more placements than that work. I would argue that even people who like to run this game casually, excuse me, should probably learn this placement, because it's super easy. It saves you a bomb, saves you some time. So you know, win all around. Now the other double kill that we want to get is in the lower right. We want to take out those two walls with a single bomb, and the placement here is very particular. There are only two places that you can put the bomb that it will work to take out both of those walls. Let's take a look at those traditional double kill placements. All right, put that up. There is the upper placement of the bomb that will work, and the lower placement of the bomb that will work. So, just to be really clear on where those are, I took a screenshot, and we're going to take a look at those close up. So here is the upper placement of the bomb, and you can see that the lower clip of the bomb, there's kind of a black line underneath it, and that is flush with that black line that's coming out from the wall that it's attached to. So that's a very good visual cue to see that you've got that placement correct. And the lower placement of the bomb, you can see that line that we're talking about. Now that's inside the clip, and the lower clip of the bomb is kind of flush with the bottom platform there. So that's how you can know that you've got that correct. Let me bring up the video here. So first issue I ran into in doing a Buster only run is, in the Buster only run, you have to break this center wall, the bottom center wall, to progress in this room, because you're not allowed to use items to move around. Once you have broken that wall, the traditional placements for the double kill on the right stop working. I don't know why that is. I haven't found a solution as, you know, or any reasoning as to why that happens, but it is true that it does happen. So let's take a look at that. This is a Buster only save state. And these save states are on the EverDrive, and on all of this gameplay is on hardware. So we bust up that center wall, and here is the lower placement of the bomb that should work. Does not work. And we're gonna do the other placement. Yeah, there's the upper placement. And no, we only take out one wall in each instance. So these traditional placements in a Buster only, once you've broken that wall, that they will not work. Even if you break that wall in zipless or in any percent, traditional placements stop working. So, you know, there's no sense in trying them anymore. Now, what I did find as well, in just kind of messing around with the bombs between the two types of runs, is that in a Buster only setting, the bomb in this room has a slightly higher vertical range. And and I just found it by messing around, by just walking in the room and shooting a bomb at the wall to try and destroy the middle wall, but just a standing shot right as you come in. So we're going to look at that in a zipless sense. So this is a zipless save state. I'm just going to walk in and shoot the bomb at the wall. And nothing happens. That wall does not, the bomb doesn't have the range to destroy that wall. Now, if we do this with a buster only save state, switch up to crash bomb, and we're just going to walk in and shoot straight at the wall. And we do get the kill on that wall. So, for some reason, in having gotten to this room in a buster-only way, causes the crash bombs to be slightly bigger in vertical range. And we will go into later into how that happens. But what I do want to go over now is that the bombs being slightly bigger, this is the solution to the double kill being the traditional placements of the double kill for the right being gone. So now that the bomb has a bigger range, we have different placements of the bomb that work, and we in fact have more placements than original of the bomb that work. As long as we don't try the traditional placements, it's actually a lot easier to do this in a buster only setting. And all of these placements of the bomb, they're all below the traditional placements. Like they start at the next setting below. The next setting below the traditional placement works. And then lots of settings, lower than that also work. So let's take a look at that. So this is still buster only, wall gone, and that bomb was clipped into the platform. Now it's halfway in the platform. Also works. All the way in the platform. Still getting the double kill there. So yeah, this actually easier for buster only folks. As long as if you're doing a buster only run, you don't try the traditional placements. You have tons of places to set the bomb now. So that's a good solution to that issue. And I think that's the end of the useful information. Everything after this point is going to be the reasoning as to why, how you can set these things to happen and why it happens like this in these runs. Now, what I found is the reason for the bombs being bigger or smaller is that if you fire a quick boomerang before you come into this room, before firing a crash bomb, you set the crash bomb to be a smaller size by firing that quick boomerang. It's not just a switch to the quick boomerang weapon. You actually do have to fire one. And we can see this very evidently by loading up a buster only save state, firing a quick boomerang, and then trying to do things with the bomb that should be bigger, but it's not anymore. So let's take a look at that. So this is still a buster only save state, and we're gonna pull out the quick boomerang, shoot one. Now we should be able to do a standing shot of the wall. We just saw that does work in a buster only save state, but it doesn't work now. So we're gonna take out this wall, and we're gonna try for those enhanced placements that are lower. Yeah, that's one that should work, but no, we don't get a double kill. We only get a single kill. So firing the quick boomerang sets the bombs to smaller. This makes sense because in a buster only run, we would not have fired a quick boomerang before getting to this room, so we'd have a bigger bomb. In a zipless or any percent setting, we would have used quick boomerangs to kill the Wily 3 boss. So we would have set our bombs to be smaller when we enter this room. Now, on top of that, just like the quick boomerang sets the bombs to be smaller, if you fire a leaf shield, you set the bombs to be bigger. And we can see that by setting the quick boomerang and trying the range, and then setting the leaf shield and trying that range. So let's take a look at that clip. So this is still a buster only save state. We're gonna set the bombs smaller. and then load up the crash weapon, and we're going to do a standing shot here. And just like we saw before, should not work, doesn't work. Now we're going to fire off a leaf shield, switch back to crash bombs, and do that same shot. And now we do get the kill. And now we can also see that that shot before that had not worked now does work for the double kill. Now, I did say leaf shield sets the crash bombs to bigger, but I didn't mean that it sets the crash bombs back to the default size that they were before you fired a quick boomerang. It sets them to a size that is even bigger than that. And it's big enough so that if you break that center wall and you have fired a leaf shield, it brings back the traditional placements of the for the double kill in that lower right. So let's take a look at that. Fired off that leaf shield. Got the crash bomb up. We're going to break the center wall. Now, these traditional placements should not work. There's the upper placement, but it does. All right, fire off that leaf shield. We're going to try the other placement. Get rid of that central wall. Traditional placements should not work now. Lower placement. It does work. So the traditional placements are back. But on top of that, we've got even more placements up higher in that scale, which are kind of crazy to think about that these work. Let's take a look at these outlandish placements. Still in our buster only state. Fire off that leaf shield. Come in here. And that's at the top of the jump. Very tip top of the jump. That works. That would have never worked in any context before. Let's try another placement. All right. Standing on the platform. That also works. That's kind of odd to think about, that you don't even have to jump to place that bomb. You could just stand on the platform if you have fired a leaf shield before firing that bomb. So to end this off, it looks like there are 3 sizes to the crash bombs as far as I know. So there is a small size that happens if you fire a quick boomerang before you fire a crash bomb. There is a neutral size, which happens if you have not fired a quick boomerang or a leaf shield before firing a crash bomb. And there is a bigger size, which happens if you have fired a leaf shield before firing the crash bomb. And as I was experimenting with this, I was kind of writing up what I was finding in the classic Mega Man speedrunning Discord. And a tasser reached out to me there, goes by Warm Cabin, and he said that there are some variables in the game that get kind of passed around between different weapons, in that, you know, you'll shoot a certain weapon like a bubble shot, and that will take random variable 1 and set it from 3 to 8 or whatever, and then you put away your bubble weapon, you load up Metal Blade, and it loads up random variable 1 and reads what it's set at, and it uses that to affect some function of the Metal Blade. And there are lots of these registers, and they get passed around by different weapons and such. So it seems to be something like that is going on here in the game. So yeah, that's kind of it for what I have to put out there. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you guys giving it a watch, and yeah, have a good one.